Every morning for the past 11 years, my husband Adrian made me coffee. It was our quiet ritual. I'd sit by the window in my robe, watching the sunlight spill across the floor, and he'd bring me a steaming cup of dark roast with just a hint of vanilla, my favorite. I used to think it was love, but love doesn't smell like metal. Love doesn't make you feel dizzy after 2 sips, and love doesn't look panicked when you say, "I'm not thirsty right now." That morning started like any other, but within 5 minutes, everything changed. Adrian was in the kitchen when I walked in, humming softly as he stirred 2 mugs. "Morning," he said, his smile reaching only halfway up his face. I kissed his cheek. "Smells strong today," he chuckled. "Figured you needed the kick. You didn't sleep much." I hadn't. I'd been restless, no reason in particular. Just that gut-tight kind of unease, like your subconscious is trying to warn you about something your mind won't admit yet. He handed me my cup. I brought it close to my face and inhaled. The usual notes of vanilla and cinnamon were there, but beneath them was something off, something sharp like burnt almonds. I blinked. "New blend?" I asked casually. He paused just for a second too long. "Yeah, I picked up a Colombian roast yesterday. Thought you'd like it." He turned away too quickly. I smiled and nodded, pretending to sip, but I didn't drink it. Instead, while he faced the stove, I set mine down and watched him from behind the steam, and I realized he wasn't humming anymore. He was holding his breath. That was the first time I really knew something was wrong. 10 minutes later, when he stepped into the hallway to answer a phone call, I quietly swapped our mugs. His was still full. Mine had a lipstick stain on the rim. I made sure the switch was perfect. Seamless when he came back in. I was lounging on the couch sipping contentedly. "Delicious," I said. He smiled, but his eyes flicked to the cup in my hand. He hesitated. Then, with forced ease, he picked up the other mug, the one that had originally been meant for me, and took a sip. He swallowed, and then it happened. His face changed almost immediately. His expression tightened. He blinked fast, then rubbed his temple. He looked down at the mug, then at me. You didn't really drink that much, did you?" I tilted my head. "Why?" "No reason," he said too quickly. "It just tastes weird, right?" "Bitter, Colombian roast," I reminded him with a smile. "You said it's stronger." He nodded, but he looked pale. Then he stood, staggered a little, and braced himself on the kitchen counter. My heart was thundering now. I still hadn't taken a sip, and I wouldn't. "Are you okay?" I asked, feigning concern. "Yeah," he mumbled. "Just must have stood up too fast." But he didn't meet my eyes. Instead, he walked into the bathroom and locked the door. I stood there in silence, staring at the coffee cup. Every instinct in me screamed, "Do not drink it. Do not even touch it again." I didn't need a lab or a test. I didn't need confirmation. I'd already seen the truth on his face. I sat on the bed and waited. It was nearly 20 minutes before Adrian came out again, his face ashen, the color drained from his lips. He didn't say a word, just walked straight past me and into the kitchen, dumped both mugs down the sink and ran the water. "Why did you do that?" I asked softly. He froze. "Do what?" "Pour it out." He turned, forcing a laugh. "It was bad coffee. You drank most of it?" I said. His jaw tightened. "Are you feeling okay now?" I asked. I said I'm fine. No nausea, no cramps, dizziness. He looked at me, eyes narrow. "What are you trying to say?" "I'm just worried about you." His eyes scanned my face like he was searching for something, some clue that I knew. But I kept my expression calm, neutral, inside. I was ice and fire at once. That evening, I didn't eat dinner. He made chicken stew. I said I had a headache. He offered to bring me ginger tea. I said I'd already taken something. He hovered for a while, then finally retreated to his study. I watched him from the hallway as he sat in the dark, staring at his laptop screen but not typing. His knee bounced. His hands trembled slightly. Guilt, fear, panic, whatever it was starting to show. That night, I pretended to sleep. I felt his movements getting out of bed, pacing near the window, standing by the bedroom door. At one point, he leaned down close to me as if checking if I was still breathing. I held my breath for just a second. He finally went back to bed. I didn't sleep at all. The next morning, I made the coffee myself. I placed a cup in front of him and watched him hesitate. "Before taking a sip, try this roast," I said with a smile. "It's Colombian." His hand trembled just slightly. Then he drank. I waited, but nothing happened. Because this time, there was nothing hidden inside. I didn't confront him, not yet, because now I needed proof. Real proof. Not just intuition. Not just instinct. Not just a tightening in my stomach every time I smelled cinnamon and almonds together. I needed answers, because once someone crosses the line of intent, there's no going back. That day I packed a small bag and told him I was visiting my sister for the weekend. He nodded stiffly. "You sure you feel okay?" he asked. I smiled. Never better. Then I kissed his cheek, the same cheek I kissed every morning. Only this time I didn't mean it, because tomorrow I'd be sitting with a lawyer and I'd find out what he'd been hiding all along too. Be continued. In part 2, she digs deeper, uncovering a twisted plan involving life insurance, betrayal, and secrets her husband had hidden for years. When she finally confronts him with the truth, he breaks down, but by then, she's already taken her power back, legally, financially, and emotionally. The day after I left for my sister's, I was sitting in a quiet office across from a private attorney named Mrs. Connolly. She was sharp, discreet, and exactly the kind of woman you'd trust with your life or your survival plan. "I don't have hard proof," I admitted, "but I think my husband tried to poison me." She didn't blink. "Let's get the paper trail," she said calmly. Within days, she had pulled up everything from our joint bank records, insurance policies, and even recently updated wills. That's when the picture became terrifyingly clear. 3 months ago, Adrian had quietly taken out a $2.5 million life insurance policy. On me. Not on both of us. Just me, the beneficiary. Himself, he listed me as a stay-at-home spouse, which I hadn't been in years. He also labeled me as in excellent health to ensure the policy had no delays in payout. The most disturbing part? He'd waived the optional medical exam by paying a higher premium. That meant, in the eyes of the insurance company, I could have dropped dead at home from natural causes, and they'd still cut him a check. A very large one. I stared at the documents, my hands trembling. So he was planning this for months? I whispered. Mrs. Connolly nodded. At least. Probably longer. "He's careful," I said. "He wouldn't just leave poison bottles lying around." She leaned forward. "Then we catch him with his own fear. The guilty always confess. We just have to set the stage." That night, I returned home without warning. Adrian was in the kitchen, eating alone. He looked startled when he saw me. "I thought you were staying the weekend." "I changed my mind," I replied casually. "Felt like home." He forced a smile. "Well, glad you're back." I leaned in. "I missed your coffee." His face twitched over the next few days. I pretended everything was normal. I let him make the coffee again, always swapping cups. The second he looked away, I pretended to drink it. Sometimes I even pretended to nap afterward, just to see how he reacted. He'd check on me constantly, pacing near the bedroom door, tiptoeing like a hunter watching his prey. And I waited. Waited for the moment he couldn't take the uncertainty anymore. It came 3 nights later. He burst into the room just after midnight, his face pale, eyes bloodshot. "Are you okay?" he asked, voice too sharp. I blinked slowly. Why wouldn't I be? You've been tired, pale," I smiled. "Adrian, perfectly fine." He stared at me. Then, with shaking hands, he sank into the armchair across from the bed. "Do you love me?" he asked, out of nowhere. My stomach tightened. "What do you love me?" he repeated. "Still? I thought we did." He stared at the floor. "Because I've made mistakes." My pulse quickened. "What kind of mistakes?" He didn't answer, just looked at me like he was drowning and I was the only one who could see. The next morning, I planted the final seed. I left a note on the kitchen counter. "Greater than Adrian, feeling weak lately. Going to see the doctor. Love me." I didn't go to a doctor, but I did go to a pharmacy. I bought a small box and left it in the bathroom cabinet where he'd see it. A home arsenic test kit that night. He didn't sleep. He kept pacing, opening drawers, checking under the sink, and finally, around 3 a.m., he did it. He panicked. He shook me awake. His hands icy cold. "I need to talk to you," he said. "What's wrong?" "I need you to listen," he begged. I did something. But it was a mistake. I was scared. I thought you were leaving me and I sat up slowly. "You what?" "I needed the money." "Okay," he blurted. "I didn't mean for it to get this far. I thought just one time, just one dose. You'd feel sick. Go to the hospital. I'd fix it. It wouldn't kill you." My mouth went dry, but when you didn't drink it and I did, he started to shake. I realized I couldn't go through with it. I panicked. "You poisoned my coffee," I whispered. He covered his face. Yes. But I didn't want to kill you, just scare you. So maybe we could start over with the insurance?" I stood slowly. "You took out a $2.5 million policy on me." His eyes widened. "How do you know that?" "I know everything, Adrian." He collapsed into the chair. "You were never supposed to find out, but I did." And then I handed him a small envelope. "What's this?" he asked. "Divorce papers?" I said. "Already filed?" He blinked. "What?" "I also froze our accounts. The ones With both our names closed, you have access to exactly $312 in your personal checking. He stood up. You can't do this. I also submitted your confession to a lawyer, audio and video, and I contacted the insurance company. They're investigating you for fraud. If they press charges, you'll be lucky to get probation. You set me up, he growled. No, I said calmly. You set yourself up. I just held the mirror. He didn't speak after that, he just stared at me. But this time, I didn't see fear in his eyes. I saw something worse. Defeat. 2 weeks later, he moved out. 3 months later, he was charged with insurance fraud and attempted manslaughter. I didn't attend the trial. I didn't need to. He pled guilty, served 18 months. People ask me now, how did you stay so calm? And I tell them, because silence is the best revenge, because truth doesn't need volume to be loud, and because when a man poisons your coffee, but you're already 10 steps ahead, you don't scream, you win.